Doug's not here either. He's not gonna read our budget. He's not gonna be here. I think.
Sorry about that.
George also has another meeting.
What?
Everybody read.
Meeting order time now is 4:30. Hey, don't let me get in the way of your conversation.
Right.
Come on, ladies, let's get on board.
To be continued.
Yeah, to be
Okay.
continued. Stop right there. Let's stand
No,
for
we're not
pledge of
done.
allegiance. We haven't picked up. The new guy, Gilbert, we're up.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, everybody is present. Public comment, I'm gonna waive the words for it unless you would like me to read it to our one public audience person. With that, we're gonna move on to board reports or commission reports, excuse me. Mr. Sires, what do you have? Anything? Jason or Mr. G?
Nothing today.
All right, and I have nothing on. Just a update, I guess the employee picnic. If you guys haven't signed up for that one, make sure you do. And still
I did.
go. Okay.
Yeah, me
Go
too.
take care of it.
Yeah.
All right, got that. Ms. Gonzalez, your turn.
Okay. So, we were actually just discussing the conference is what we were discussing. So, we do have our conference coming up, our annual conference. So we're just getting preparations for that, hotels, registrations, all of that good stuff, lined up and in order. We are looking forward to the picnic next Wednesday. We have we've closed out the 24-25 negotiations, but we are prepping for the 25-26 negotiations. So we actually have a team meeting next week as well. So to get ready for the 25-26 negotiation year. We are saddened about the loss of the 3 BUSD students on Sunday and their father. A little hard for me as I was personally, I have personal relationships with all 3 students and the families, so that one's a bit tough. So that's a bit of a sad time around campuses right now that people are dealing with that loss. Just trying to get ready for summer school and closing up the end of the school year at this time. We do have 3 MOUs that should be going to board on Tuesday regarding reclassifications, changing of adjustments of a work year calendar for a member, and then what's the third one? I don't remember, but we're still doing business, you know, trying to move things along to make sure that we get things taken care of before the end of the school year that need to be taken care of before the end of the fiscal year, and moving along, prepping for everything for next school year. So that's what I've got. Thank you.
One quick question.
Yes.
When you say adjusting the school calendar
So
for
there-
a member, for just one of
it
your
was
members?
just one. So what happened was the central enrollment office assistant positions, the three. So there are four, but three of them that work specifically with enrollment, their start and end dates were staggered so that there's coverage
Yeah.
for the entire school year. But the way they were staggered left one of them without an additional holiday. The other two got an additional holiday, and the third one did not. So just altering their adjusting the calendar so that they get that additional
What was
one
good
as
for the
well.
goose was good for the gander.
Exactly. Just wanting to make sure that the three that do the exact same work are kept equal. So we adjusted the work calendar with an agreement with the district, so that'll be going to board on Tuesday. Our members ratified that. So
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
Mhm.
What do we got? District updates. No,
Nobody
or-
present. We're busy today.
You're up, sir.
Let me do just really quick housekeeping. It looks like we're not live. Is our communication working?
Yeah,
It
it's
is
on,
working?
it's just not.
It's not on. Okay, just want to check. So we put down the record. Okay, so this is what I have for us. We don't have any interviews in process currently. We have 4 recruitments that are in the testing stage. Is there any others? Or is it just 4? Okay, just 4. And then we have 0 recruitments that are open. We currently have 382 classified employees, 178 8-hour full-time, 126 benefited part-time, and 78 non-benefited part-time. There was a significant growth in the middle part of the benefited part-time employees, so it's a lot better.
Good. You're in Parapalooza?
Yeah.
I love that.
That's the one. We still carry 15 classified management employees. Security, we have no vacancies. Safety, we still have those 2 vacancies, ladies? Yes, still have them. We're still trying to schedule those interviews. Custodial, we don't have anything. We estimate our vacancy list to be in the 80s right now still. And so that'll get curtailed quite a bit with the rest of the parents, which are the part-times. Let's see, we're currently scheduling testing for health assistant, library media, maintenance worker 1, nutrition services 2, school accounting technician, para SN, buyer, and translator. We scheduled 4 of these classifications between May 9th and May 23rd. So we have a lot of testing this month, and the other 4 classifications we're currently trying to get them scheduled in the calendar.
Which 4 are you testing for?
We have health assistant for sure. I think library media was the other one. Maintenance worker 1, yeah, that was 1. And
And buyer.
no,
Not
not
buyer.
that one. I think it might have been the nutrition services.
Nutrition services 2.
2, yeah. So the first 2 on my list. And then the ones that we're still trying to find a slot to put it to schedule them is the accounting technician, para SN, buyer, and translator. What else we got? After we get done with scheduling those other 4 classifications, then we're gonna move to open and post a recruitment for nutrition services 3 and the HR technician. It's still floating out there. So those are the last 2 that we'll open up. We've done about 110 onboardings since the beginning of the fiscal year. Yeah, this is already going on. The campus safety and security trainings that we're helping to facilitate. There's too much going on the month of May. We're gonna move those to July, first week when people come back. July 28th, 29th, and 30th is what we're targeting. I already put the word out there and I'm getting feedback to see if there's any objections. there didn't be any students at the time, so that's the time that's reserved for training, so that's probably a better time to do this. The training, we're looking at some CPI training for those that don't have it. And then, we also have a team building training that's coming.
Acronym CPI.
Does anybody know what that is? It's, it is.
I don't know what it stands for, but I know what it's for.
Cardiac something resuscitation, but I get.
Oh, health.
Not
Not
CPR,
health,
it's
no.
CPR, it's the training of how to restrain and put hands on appropriately
Okay,
for safety measures for students.
gotcha.
You know, how to properly restrain a
Okay.
student for safety.
And the training was updated so that now it requires 2 staff, opposed to 1, and so that's why it's on.
Come on in and join the party.
Yeah, like a comment card. Yeah, so it requires 2 individuals now, so some of our staff may need to get the update. So that's what that is. I said, team building, would be a half-day training, and we possibly are still coordinating an active shooter training for that stuff. So it takes a lot of moving parts for that. We already have a vendor. We need to coordinate with PD. I think there's sometimes that when they use the school, they have to notify the neighbors so that they don't freak out.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be on board. So there's a lot of moving parts. We're also working with nutrition services that they're trying to do restructuring over there, add some staff, eliminate some positions, add hours, all that. So that still needs a really quick budget analysis, which they're working on over there, and then it needs board approval. So we're just waiting on that. Let's see. We're finalizing some of these summer school postings. I believe all of those should have been selected already.
Pairs are the only ones.
The
They're
ELs,
educators.
the regular parents.
Those are the ones that are gonna be interviewing on the 16th.
Okay, no, the 16. The rest of them have already been selected. The length of service certificates are finished. Reasonable assurance letters were sent out, so that was one of our targets. We're still working on the end of the year letters and everything else, the recruitment seniority list, et cetera. We're also assisting with personnel services on digitizing some of the personnel records. So we're working with a vendor. They asked me to help them do some of this. There's the same vendor that is working with adult education and with people services to digitize their files. And so we're gonna try to tackle that room over there. Has a bunch of spider webs and so on, right?
I did my office about 5 years ago. Oh my God. You guys ever do that? Well, we went to the warehouse, took everything out of the warehouse, and were able to bring a shredder in and stuff. And now everything's on a main server.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
yes.
Incredible.
So you can find stuff by just typing it
Just
in.
typing it
Yes.
into the directory. And they also did, I don't know if you guys still have it, they did all our microfiche files. That's how back, remember those
I
things
haven't
back
seen
in
any
the day?
microfiche, but I do
We
know
had
what they are.
microfiche, we had paper, we had everything. Everything's down there.
Well, I know like a lot of the files, they had to keep them, what, 7 years or something?
There's some, but some of the digital ones are still, they're still acceptable.
Yeah,
So-
it qualifies.
So if somebody were to ask for a record request for something that happened 20 years ago, we'd have to go and fight the spiders and snakes. And we probably couldn't find it because it's just a lot of paper and boxes. It's not,
It's accumulated.
it's wall to ceiling, right? So this would alleviate that. We got a quote, so that'll be coming out. So we may get some extra space over there to have a boardroom or something or another room. And then we're also onboarding Nundu subs all the time. So that's happening. We're attending the Merit Academy. We had a session right before this with Mr. Size. And our next one is at the end of May, right? And we're halfway done, May 31st. That's all I have to.
I'm gonna backtrack on my public comment. I heard the word twice.
Sorry, I also forgot one thing in my report.
Okay.
We'll be presenting 2 scholarships at the senior night at the high school, next Thursday, the 15th.
Oh, good.
So Rex will tell you guys that too.
No problem. I forgot to mention, because it's not a conflict of interest, I'm on the other side. My little one is now a BUSD employee, or will be as of Tuesday. She onboards. She'll be teaching math at STEM.
All right.
Congratulations.
So she's moving back and talking to Marseilles and other things. I mean, it's a good thing to see past students come back and want to, teach in the district. So
Very good.
she'll be at STEM starting in the fall.
They'll come by next month.
Yeah, we'll do it. All right, I'd like to open a public hearing, at 4:43 for the personnel budget, and there are copies located inside of here if anybody wants one. So we'll open up at 4:43. Rush, people,
Please.
back off, slow down,
It
take
was-
out a card.
We posted this. Everything is correct. I made some slight change on the math on the little yellow box down here, which doesn't affect the budget. It's just, it just shows you the change, the year to year calculation, but everything else is as is. I've been working with our CBO, Mr. Douglas Beaton, right? And he offered some good suggestions. We've been building this budget over the last month. I met with the assistant superintendent, Mr. Gutierrez, right? Also had some feedback. Lots of people had some feedback on this. We learned a lot from our recent conference at CSPCA on budgeting, and also just on how much things cost, right? So this should be a better reflection of our actual operating costs and how much we need to properly run the department.
Anything from any of the board members?
Well, with clerical and office, how come it's lower next year? Salaries,
Which is the one, is it, which one are you looking at?
the 420
2420.
and 420.
Okay, so the column on the right should be what we're proposing for next year. The middle column is what we spent what we estimate this year.
It's lower for next year than it is this year. It was 6,908, and for next year you have 5,000.
I see what you're saying. 6,908, and we're budgeting 5,000. This was an unusual year, and that expense was for the limited term sub that we had in the office.
See, I didn't do that.
Yeah, so it was a limited term sub,
All right.
and I believe I may have been part of that too, because I worked
There
about 5
was a
days.
class.
It was
Okay.
about 5 or 6
All right.
days when I was a limited term sub. So to be on the safe side, I put 5,000 in that box, right? But
We might have
we
extra leftovers.
Right.
Yeah, but I just wondered, because it just seemed like, how come it wouldn't
No.
seem like it would go down, that's why I was.
no,
One time
question.
thing.
no, that's a good eye, because you always want more, not less, right?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, we left that in there just in case we need another limited term sub for some reason, and yeah, just to be on the safe side. But that should be okay.
Anything else? Seeing nobody in the audience approaching us, I will close the public hearing at 4:47. With that, I will entertain a motion to approve the budget as presented.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're gonna go on to the consent list. We don't have anything. Comfort action, we have nothing. Discussion information, the 2025 employee appreciation event on May 14th. We talked about that earlier. You guys
Sure
are
you
signed
signed
up
up.
and everything else. You know, there's taco trucks and the Incredibles.
Yeah.
Should have got Academy Awards and everything. It's a fantastic movie. We have no reason to go into closed session. I'll call for adjourn at 4:48.